Welcome to the Primitive Lifeways channel. In this one, we're going to cover a split stick deadfall trap. So stick around, we got a great show coming up. All right, folks, so I want to welcome you back. As you can see, we have our trap set up, and before I show you how to carve it out, we'll go over its components. So we have our trapping stone, we have our trap itself, which is just a single stick split and then a bait stick inserted in between that split. So we have this set up around animal activity, game trails, signs of animals. We have a little bit of bait on the end. The animal comes in, nibbles on that bait. The stone falls down, therefore crushing and killing the animal. Now we'll go ahead and get into the construction of this trap, and I like to use a specific tool for this trap. I use my Swiss Army tool that I carry in the field. It has a nice sharp saw and a metal and wood file. Those two tools will help you tremendously with this trap, and it'll help you set up multiple ones in a timely manner. And then as far as wood selection, I have my bait stick here. This is just a piece of mullein. And really, it's pretty much complete with the exception of shrinking it down in size according to the stone I decide to use. And then we have our post stick, and I have another couple options here. I have a piece of native willow that I'll end up using, and then I have a highly invasive plant called salt cedar. Salt cedar threatens a lot of the native plants, so it's always good to trim those back and put them to use. They make great trapping components. They can make a good arrow, a good bow. So why not help the environment and put it to good use again? But in this case, we'll just use this piece of native willow. I'll first take my saw and we'll trace down from the top, and we'll cut about right here. And once we have that cut down, I'll just kind of trim it up a bit. Get some of the loose fiber away. And at this point, my trap is almost complete. So the trap will end up sitting like this. We'll have our bait stick, again, wedged in between both of the components. But as this sits right now, it will not hold up. As soon as the pressure sits on top of this stick, all the components will pull away from each other. So I need to sit this bait stick into both components. So what I'll do is I'll take my saw and my wood file, and I'll start carving out 2 grooves so this has a nice secure seat. I'll go ahead and do that right now, and I'll be right back with you. And here it is, folks, complete. You can see we have both pieces of willow cut in the center. So we'll rest our bait stick on the bottom, put that top on, and here's the trap. Now we'll go ahead and set it up, and I'll release it yet again. Now it's time to set this up, and it could pose a bit of a challenge. So what I'll do is I'll take my bait stick and I'll insert that into the bottom. I'll grab that top post stick and we'll pinch our set together, and I hold it right where that joint meets. Lift up our stone, and we'll just work on it and work with it until we get a nice balance point. Okay. can see just a bit off balance. And that's why when I set traps up, I usually give it a minute. Make sure it's not going to fall, which in this case it did. So again, we'll take our trap, we'll pinch it together, and hopefully this time we can get a little bit of success on this. All right. Again, I'm just going to give it a minute, make sure it doesn't fall down. It looks like it's in there pretty secure. And I think we're good. So we're pretty good to go here. One thing I like to do with this particular trap is I like to split the tip of this bait stick and wedge the bait in the center just so that animal has to fight. But he comes in, he starts gnawing at it, and you see what happens. Crushes the animal, kills it, and we can carefully pick up the stone and start preparing our meal.